Hello programmers, Spidy is back with one another video. In previous video, we have performed a POC about Indian legal document extraction about Aadhaar card, PAN card or any other document. Now it's been almost 6 months. I was busy with multiple other activities and sorry for the delay. Like in this 6 month of time frame, I could not able to upload any videos regularly as I used to always do uploading a POC. But yeah, I'm back with a new fresh POC. In this POC, what we are going to do, we are going to deploy a DeepSeek model. But yeah, we are going to deploy this in AWS EC2 on GPU instances, and also on top of that we are going to build a RAG application where we can able to talk, or you can consider chat with our documents. So without wasting time, let's get started. So this will be the outline of video. We are going to review the architecture, and then we are going to spinning up the EC2, then installing the requirement and modules, and then downloading the DeepSeek model and deploying the Streamlit application and testing the functionality of app. This is what we are going to do. So if you are going to follow with me for this POC, you might be getting some cost because we are going to spin up a GPU instances on AWS. So that will be the costly. I will show you the cost as well, what will be the 1 hour cost for that spinning up that EC2. So just guys, if you want to appreciate me, just like and share this video and comment down whatever. If you have any queries, or if your work or POC is getting completed just because of this video, just mention that and appreciate it in comments. So those comments are like making me motivate to do more work on this kind of POCs. So let's see the architecture that what we are going to follow. So we'll be following the simple architecture where PDF will be ingested into application. That PDF will be containing some particular documents or data about anything. We are going to just take a sample PDF. So step 1 is uploading the PDF into the step 2, which is nothing application, and that application is hosted on EC2. Now EC2 will be vectorizing those documents. We are going to use this ChromaDB over here as a vector DB, and we are going to use LLM as a DeepSeek model. And yes, this doesn't require internet to get the answers. So if you are having the data compliances, you can do this thing on your own premises server rather than on EC2. But yeah, if you are connected with EC2, then you need to have just internet required to connect with your EC2. But yes, your LLM will not go outside on internet and find the answers. Everything will be inside the EC2 only. So that's the difference. Understand this, and let's start with the implementation. So as per our flow, let's setting up the EC2. Click on launch EC2 button. Okay, I thought video is not getting recorded, but yeah, it's getting recorded. So let me just give the name over here of my EC2, DeepSeek app EC2. Select Ubuntu. I always prefer to have at least one version before the latest, so I will be choosing 22.04. confirm changes. This UI always lacks. E2.micro. Here we need to use the GPU instances. So what you can mention, G4 DNX large. So if you read this particular pricing over here is already mentioned. So it is 0.5 USD per hour on average. So if I'm going to spin up the Ubuntu, I will be getting charged almost for 0.5 USD, which will be costing around 40 rupees per 1 hour, nearby that amount. Yeah, so I'm fine with this. So let me spin up this EC2 instance. I have key pair already. I don't know why it's not getting loaded. So I always used to have one key pair only. I'm not creating multiple key pairs, else we'll get the confusion. Let me just do hard refresh. Yeah, I just resolved that issue. I mean, it was just an internet issue. So the chosen type is G4 DNX large. Key pair is which I already use in Mumbai region. Let's allow HTTP and HTTPS traffic both. Whenever you are configuring the storage, make sure you are at least giving 164 GB or 168 GB storage, or maybe more than that. The things are fine. Just reconfigure or review the things. And the name Ubuntu 22.04 64-bit G4 DNX large, which will be the GPU instance. Key pair VPC, no subnets required. Click on launch instances. It will take some time. If you get error over here, so you can raise a support ticket if your GPU instances are not allowed for you. Yeah, so what we can do, we can able to connect with your EC2. So I already have key downloaded, so just click on connect. Either there is a two-way, either you can use EC2 instance connect, or if you have VS Code, you can use the SSH extension as well. But for me, it's not working for me from the VS Code. So what I can do is I can use particular SSH console. So let me go to where actually project is located, and keys are there. So if you see, your key should be in a particular directory. What you need to do, just press shift and right click. You will find this git bash over here. So just paste this command what you have copied it will ask you for the confirmation, and that's all. You connected to your EC2. I'm just making it more larger so you guys can able to read it. So make sure always you use it as a super user, since this is a server, this is not. So you make sure it should have a root. Now the first thing you should be doing is apt update. With this command, it will update all the packages, like whatever is needed, either it is Python or CUDA or any other packages. It will take some time, but make sure you are doing this first. Now this thing is done. Now there will be no pip install in any of the EC2. What you need to do? Apt install python 3 -pip. Yes, so it will take some time to install a pip. Just press on OK. So it will just restart a few services. Now let's check which version of Python we have. We have 3.10. Let me get exit from over here. Yeah. So what we need to do now, we need to install the Ollama. If you don't know what is Ollama, is a particular, you can consider kind of a Git clone service where you can directly clone any of the LLM models. So let me show you the exact documentation of Ollama. So here you can directly clone any of the models. So you can, if it is if you wanted to do it on your Mac or Windows, you can just download, but as we are going to do in Linux, make sure you copy this command. So I have also given these commands over here. So you just directly copy paste this command into this terminal. So paste it, wait for a while. So it will take some time to download Ollama. So I'm just pausing this video over here. So for me, installation took almost 5 to 6 minutes. So if you can see, NVIDIA GPU installed, and so this is like enabling the stealing in Ollama service. So basically it will use your GPU instances and it will install all the drivers automatically. So let's wait, let's check Ollama is installed or not. So now if you write Ollama command, you will find that Ollama is already installed. Now what you need to do, you need to choose a particular model. So here we are going to use a DeepSeek R1, but there are multiple models are there. So if you see, now there are multiple varieties of model are there, like 1.5B, 7B, 8B, 14B, 32, 70 and 761B, which is around 404. So as per the EC2 which we have chosen, I would believe 8B will be the sufficient one, even though I think we can get tried with the 14B as well, but I think that will be the overkilling the machine. So let me go with the 8B. So just copy this command, which is Ollama run DeepSeek R1, and you just need to paste this over here. So it will take again some time to install this model, download this from internet. So wait for a while. So it will take almost 1 or 2 minutes to get installed. Now if everything is done perfectly, you will see that it will ask you for a prompt question. So here your model is ready. You can have the conversation. I'm just mentioning hello, and let's see. Now if you see, the response time is very fast. Since we are running this model on the GPU, I have also tried to run this on the CPU instances like T2 or T3 family. Then on that EC2 instance, which is a CPU one, right, it take almost more than 10 to 15 seconds to generate a very simple answer. But if it is answer is containing a difficult question, that it will take more than that. So let me ask something like write in Python script for Flask to health check. Let me ask a very simple question. Okay, so you can see here is the user just asked to write a Python script. So here if you see this response, it is like purely mimicking the human if you compare this with the GPT models. So you see the script is purely written, and it's also containing the explanation and how it reaches to that level of decision, that is also covered. Now press Ctrl D to get exit of it. Now what we need to do, we don't want to play over here. We wanted to set up multiple things. So what we need to do, make directory, let me call DeepSeek app cd DeepSeek app. Now we need to install a multiple requirements over here, but before that let me go back to our flow. So we are done with the 2.1, 2.2, and I think we have also downloaded a 2.3 as well. Now what we need to deploying the Streamlit application. For that we need to download the few requirements. So let me create first requirement.txt over here. It's better to create file only. I think it's not accepting like this. Oh, I think there is issue. Let me just go and connect from the terminal. So this is the second way to connect your EC2. You can directly connect from a terminal, and here you will not require key to connect. Yeah, so I solved that issue. I like to work with this git bash only instead of getting through instance connect. So what we need to do, we just need to copy paste this requirement.txt. So let me create a file, and we are done. Just press python 3 then /m and our usual command pip install -r requirement.txt and wait for a while. It will install all the requirement in I think 2 to 3 minutes. So if you see, all the requirements are properly installed. Now we can proceed for the few things. We need to just deploy the application and that's all. But before deploying the application, we need to enable the two different ports. The first one is application port, which is 8501, and the second one is where actually the DeepSeek model is getting served. So what you can do, just go to security group, open the security group in a different tab, and we need to mention two different ports over here, so that traffic will be enabled on that port. Yeah, I think there is some issue. I just need to re-log in. Yeah, so there was some credential issue. So what you need to do, you just need to go back to your particular EC2, then you just need to go into a security group. So what you can do over here is just click on edit inbound rules. Make sure you need to edit the inbound rules. Click on add rule. Custom TCP, the first port is 8501 and traffic should be anyway IPv4. This is for our application. There is another port which is for this Ollama model. So the port is 11434. So make sure you are mentioning this port and make sure anywhere IPv4 save rules. So now if you see, just validate, you have given all the ports including 43. These are the default ports. So go back to EC2. Now what we need to write, we need to write one command called Ollama. So if you are going to write this address, you will find that the model is already running on this particular port. So if you see this address, so how to check that model API is working fine or not. So just go to your EC2, copy this particular IP address. Let me just copy this command again over here, and then copy your IPv4. So let's check, this will be your URL to check whether your IP is, whether your model is getting work or not. Post, make sure you are mentioning the right version of the model that what you have downloaded. In message role user, you just mention your question. I just ask write Python script for hello world. Streaming is equal to false. Just wait for a while. I think still there is some issue. Just let me check. Yeah, so just I have restarted EC2 and now the API is serving properly. So what you can do, as of now I have not opened that for the publicly, it will be just running on the local host. So I think from my system Postman it is not going to work. So what we can do, still we can check the API is functioning or not. So that will be on the local host and make sure the port is given. So this is the call command to just test whether the API is functioning or not. So let's see, a very simple question asked, and now if you see, the response is purely written. It's crazy, you could not able to read, but it is pure about how you can write a Python hello world program. So everything, it means that that everything is functioning properly. Now we are good to create application. So what we need to do, I think we are also sorted with the Streamlit. Let's check we have Streamlit or not. Yeah, Streamlit is also installed. What we need to do, we just need to have application to be deployed. So now I'm just going to explaining the few portion of the code. So we are using the LangChain to just for the splitting the documents or reading the documents. So here this particular version is just working with the PDF, but you can extend this to particular document format like JSON, CSV. We need to import the Ollama as well. Ollama you can download just using pip. There is a ChromaDB. So if you go to requirement.txt, these all are the requirements. Now this is just a logger for the configuring the log. Now the model that we are going to use, just mention it as in a model ID. If you are going to use 14B other, you just need to mention that particular model ID over here. Process PDF, I am just reading the PDF, storing into the temporary file. PyPDF loader is there. Load the document, chunk size is 50010. So this size can be adjusted according to your expectation. So Ollama embedding is the model. So model we are going to choose the same. So with Ollama embeddings, we can able to get the document embedded, and there is a method from document. This is just like how LangChain works. Vector store as retriever. So here we are going to use a particular the same model in this case to get the retriever and returning the response. Now here what we'll be getting, we are defining the system prompt and then Ollama.chat. It is just like OpenAI. So if you see OpenAI wrapper as well, so in OpenAI also we have the option like OpenAI.chat. So here we define the model ID, then prompt, system prompt, user. So here will be your question, and then streaming we are going to enable over here in this application as a true, and the content what we are going to get will be yield into the user interface. So whenever you are using streaming, make sure you, instead of return, it should be yield statement. Now from the regular expression, if you see the responses, it is more like thing tags are always there. We are just removing those tags, and that's where we are just using this particular enable the streaming into the Streamlit application. This is a pure Streamlit application where you can see the file uploader, and then what we are defining the session messages into the session state. So whenever you are using streaming, make sure you instead of return, it should be yield statement. Now from the regular expression, if you see the responses, it is more like thing tags are always there. We are just removing those tags, and that's where we are just using this particular enable the streaming into the Streamlit application. This is a pure Streamlit application where you can see the file uploader, and then what we are defining the session messages into the session state. and then we are going to define the chat input for the question. These are the basic coding. I'm not going to talk about this into the details. So with assistant, and here you are functioning making the function call, and now there is a st.write stream. So here you can like use that for a streaming kind of a responses, and that's where. So I'm just copying this whole code, and let's see, paste into this our app.py. So let's create nano app dot then streamlit. If you see application is working on the 8501 port, how we can verify? Go to instance state, let's see 8501, and if you see the application is up. Now let me upload a particular document. What I have done, I just downloaded the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam guidelines. I could not able to find any other better document than this, because this is containing a lots of textual information. So once it will process the document, and then it will you can consider vectorizing the document. And if you see, this is the GPU instance, that's why it is super fast. But when I tried this with CPU for the same document, it almost took 3 to 4 minutes just to vectorize the process. So hello, can you tell me about cloud practice or exam for AWS? Let's see, the answers are getting generated. So if you see, still think tags are coming, so I think I need to work on the more pre-processing. If you read this, okay, so I need to prepare for the AWS certificate. Let me think about how. So if you see, or reading all these lines, you feel that these all are coming from the human, because this R1 architecture properly follows the human, how human comes to a decision, how human thinks. So if you see, I remember that AWS had lots of services, maybe should list. So here you will see that some amount of the confusion will be also there. Here you might not get the perfect answers right as per the expectation, but once you are working with this particular model, you will see the better accuracy day by day. So if you read this content, you will find that it is like reaching to towards a goal. It's crazy. And now if you see at the end, to effective prepare for the AWS CP exam, after coming all this thinking and decision, it has come to a conclusion like you need to focus on the core AWS services, support plans, partner network roles, resource allocation, technical concepts, study plan. I mean, this is correct answer. I would not say this is not correct, but yeah, these answers can be more improved, but yeah, those fine tunings can be achieved. Through this document doesn't contain much data, but still let me open this document as well. Yeah, so it is just containing the particular statements about syllabus. Still, let me ask another question. What should from security and compliances for AWS CP exam? Let's also see how things are going. Yeah, so after coming all this conversation on thinking, if you see, it is coming on the right. I am like, if you read this list, let me make a list, and these all are the right, like security services like guard duty, massive wave, compliances, monitoring, which is the correct answer, and this is perfect answer that I can see. And there are lots of other things as well, like security services. Still it is generating the answers. So it is very crazy model. So what you can do, if you wanted to experiment for your own purposes, or if you have data compliances and guidelines towards your data, you can use this model without touching the internet. You just need to spin it on your own premises, or if it is in AWS, what you can do, you can spin up this particular into the private VPC where internet is not touching, and through Western host or other net gateways, you can create API that only your VPC applications can access your model using the APIs. So this is perfect. Let me ask something, a different question, which is not a scope of for this document. Let's see. Write Python script for the fast API for the sync routes for the example. So I'm just going to write, asking for the writing asynchronous fast API example. Let's see. Okay, now if you see, the code writing has started. So I'm just, let me verify the code from fast API, HTTP exception, optional partner. So if you see, my document is containing the AWS related document. So while generating this example, which is not relevant to my document, but still in programming or in this example, it has contained the particular content from the my document. So that's how this model is working. So you can play with this model. You can add more kind of documents, including PDF, JSON, and you can play with your own data by fine tuning this model. So if you see this prompt, what I have given, it's very simple. So you can play with this prompt. You can define more prompt engineering on this, and the better the prompt, you will get the better answer. So that's what my outcome. So let me just summarize what we have done. Let me go back to a document. So we have spin up the GPU instances, we have downloaded all the requirements, we have deployed the model, we deployed the Streamlit application and tested the application. So that's how we have done. So once you are done with all the testing, and if you think that you are done for a day, make sure you shouldn't be running this instance over the night, else you will see a huge billing on your costing at the end of the month. So make sure you terminate this EC2, and for these kind of POCs you just subscribe to a Machine Learning Hub YouTube channel, where you will be finding lots of content regarding the AWS SageMaker, machine learning, Gen AI, and multiple things, including other non-AI, non-ML related things as well. So without wasting time, I would say just like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe Machine Learning Hub YouTube channel.